go, as well as Rotators. Full teams on both sides playing for Swab. We have Knight, Desirax, Jalapeno, Epoculos, Rev, Seed, and Red Zone. Playing for Rotators tonight, it's going to be Steagle, Clue, NoFX, Dator, Bloody Mist, Madness, and Big Nuts. I am thinking this match, here it is. It's actually going to start in about 15 seconds. It is Swab and Rotators on radar. Starting out as the allies, it is going to be Rotators. Let's see what they can do here as the Axis defend their radar parts. 3, 2, 1, and this match has begun. Throwing it over WaCKSteVeN to start out these initial rushes.
All right, let's take a look at Rotators. NoFX in the middle of the pack here. We've got airstrike being thrown out. Of course, over by the side entrances. We've got some Rotators action coming that way. Looks like a side plant is imminent as we've got a couple members of Swab over there. A nice rifle grenade by Swab Apoculos as he knocks down Steagle, but looks like we got some engines coming over to plant some dynamite. It's going to be Bloody Mist dropping some dino at the side entrance already. So it looks like Swab having a little trouble on that first push by Rotators. This is going to be pretty good. Bloody Mist gunning down several members of Swab. Red Zone and Seed falling to the Thompson of Bloody Mist. Flag still in possession of the Axis and Swab. And looks like they got a little crossfire set up inside that forward bunker. Rotators going to have a little trouble trying to come in and do it. There goes Desirax taking out his MP40, knocking down Bloody Mist. Big Nuts getting hit by the Panzerfaust of Rev. And Rotators still unable to get that forward bunker spawn. And they will get that side blown any moment though.
All is calm at the radar parts as we have Swab moving forward, putting some heavy defenses in the forward spawn. Couple coming from outside, including Clue, who gets owned by Big Nut's support fire. His own teammate coming through there as he was trying to come in and plant dynamite. Got caught unawares. Instead, Bloody Mist coming out of the spawn. Gonna throw some dynamite out. Throw out the quick Panzerfaust, trying to stop the Axis from coming through to defuse. Looking through on the other side, we do have Rev throwing some grenades through, trying to see who he can take out on the other side of the door. We're gonna just wait as this dynamite ticks down. Looks like we're gonna get both entrances blown, and then we will have everything wide open for Rotators to make their first pushes on those radar parts. All is still calm on this side of the map, on the radar part side, but I think we're gonna see people falling back very soon to guard.
Forward bunker taken over by Rotators. Looks like they're making a push here towards that command post area. Bloody Mist coming in with the flyers right now. Gonna get that command post up as it looks like Rotators making a push on that eastern radar parts. We got a boost upcoming. Looks like no members of Swab over here by those eastern radar parts. They looked like they were just taking a very offensive defense inside. Nice Panzerfaust there coming from Rev, hitting them parts carriers, and it looks like Dator will be left alone on the ground in a bloody heap. As the member Swab looks like Rev coming over, grabbing the parts, moving them back over to the eastern radar. As it looks like Swab setting up a little bit on the eastern radar. They sent 3 people up over there. It looks like we've got a field ops and a couple medics, and we got some airstrikes being thrown out right now. Airstrike going off, not hitting anybody. We've got action at both radar parts. Looks like we've got split offense and split defense coming from both teams. Very interesting to see on this. Looks like eastern radar parts stolen and quickly dropped as we got some long distance shots coming from Suave and that western radar parts.
Clue and NoFX working together for Rotators. Again, trying a boost here. Here goes NoFX after the east radar parts. He's flying off the hill, trying to make it over to the other side, but he's going to get torn to shreds. Here comes Clue. It looks like he's going to get some support from his team and head towards the side entrance. He's going to make his way through. He's all by himself. His team holding off the Axis pursuers. He's going to come jumping through the back the long way around, and no one is guarding him right now. So hopefully he's not going to find anyone on the other side of the map, any Axis soldiers waiting to tear him apart. He's coming through the forward spawn, again, all by himself on the other side. It looks like no one's waiting for him, in fact, from either team. He's going to come out uncontested, and the east radar parts have been captured.
I need ammo.
Very nicely done by Rotators, getting those eastern parts fairly quickly. We got about 6 minutes and 5 seconds left on this map. So fairly quick on those eastern radar parts. I've seen it done a lot faster, but it's quick on a good team. And it looks like Rotators taking a pretty nice push here over the bridge right now towards the western radar parts. Dator and several members of Rotators using some long-distance fire. SteveL whipping out the mortar as he's hit several members of Swab there over the course of a couple minutes now, as it looks like Bloody Mist doing a little bit of parts running. Parts are going to get dropped. Clue does not pick them up. He walks right past the parts, and it looks like Dator will run the parts. Nicely done. 4 minutes and 29 seconds left. Or 4 minutes and 29 seconds set, rather, by Rotators on Swab. That is going to be a tough time for Swab to beat there. Trillian, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty good match.
I'm looking forward to seeing what it is that Swab's going to pull out of their sacks here and throw at their opponents as we're going to get started on the next half. And don't you laugh about that. I knew that was coming.
Why did you do it then if you knew it was going to be
Because, you know, sometimes when I'm in your presence, I just can't help myself. I admit it. It's just
exactly.
the way it is. I can't deny it anymore, WaCKSteVeN. You're one hot piece of ass, and when I'm on air with you, I have to control myself. We do have Swab versus Rotators. For those of you who have just joined us, we'll give you a quick rundown of the rosters. Rotators going to be on the Axis side defending their 4 minute and 29 second time. SteveL, Clue, NoFX, Dator, Bloody Mist, Madness, and Big Nuts. And Swab coming in trying to beat that time and capture their first point in this series. It's Knight, Deserax, Jalapeno, Apoculos, Rev, Seed, and Red Zone. We're waiting on 2 more players to ready up. Make that one as we're just about ready to go inside this game for the second half of the first set. If only, who is it? It's Madness, needing to get ready. Here he goes. Got that 30-second countdown beginning. The map is radar. East radar parts, west radar parts. I've got to say, it's been a long time since I watched a radar match where they guarded both radars as extensively as Swab did in that last round. We'll have to see what kind of approach Rotators is going to take to guarding those parts. And, you know, Swab, they've been pretty confident about this, WaCK. Now it's time to show us what it's all about.
Exactly, as we are about to start up, here we go. Following Clue as field ops here for Rotators. He's going to be throwing out a canister here on the side. No, it looks like he's throwing out an artillery strike as he's trying to hold off some members of Swab. Does a little damage here against Apoculos. Apoculos falling, not getting picked up. Seed is going to get knocked down as well. Some nice gunning there by Clue. It looks like he eats his own artillery fire, though. Going to kind of stop him from guarding that entry to the side entrance. It looks like we've got some very good defense set up already by Rotators. Rotators coming out of the side, and it looks like they stopped that side push. They're not going to get a plant down on side. Swab, oh no, I'm incorrect. Apoculos managed to get through. He snuck through, got a plant down on the door, as it looks like Swab was able to get a plant down, even though Rotators had a very nice defense going. Right now, Apoculos sitting back, trying to guard the dyno for his team, as it looks like Swab is pushing forward in pretty good pace so far. It's possible for them to still beat this time. Got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
Apoculos with a little bit of a sneaky play there. Things worked out in his favor. It was awfully close, though. It looked like Rotators was actually going to have them held off and forcing them for another respawn before they get that dynamite down. Dynamite gonna explode. There it is on the side doorway. Moving inside. They're gonna have to plant dynamite on that command post as it has been set up. Here comes a very solid push by Rotators. They are not going to allow an easy entrance by Swab through the side door. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock. Time is ticking away, and we're not seeing much from Swab as far as coming through to the other side. They haven't had an opportunity to even touch the radar parts as of yet, and as time continues, they need to get some dynamite down on that main entrance and see if they can't get things going inside close to the radar parts. Dynamite has been tossed down. It is sitting there glowing yellow. No flyers have come to touch it yet. Now we've got, it looks like Knight trying to get that dynamite planted. He's going to catch it right before it sinks into the ground. And dynamite planted on the main entrance.
Right now, it's looking like the command post is under some serious contention. Swede trying to save it all by himself here, but it looks like 2 members of Rotators, I believe it was Dator who was doing that crazy medicing managed to pick up several members of his team there and save himself versus Seed. Some very nice positioning there, allowing the slight invulnerability time of the corpses to guard him. Right now we've got some action over at the main entrance as Swab trying to push through that way. It looks like we've still got some split offense and split defense coming from both teams. Very strong defense on that eastern radar parts for the most part. Getting inside that command post area and just trying to hold it for as long as possible. Right now Populos and accompanied by a couple other members of Swab, looks like Red Zone and Deezerax, are going to get that command post down and build their own. Now they can spawn their eastern push coming right now by Swab. It looks like Red Zone ducking down for a boost. We've got some airstrikes being thrown out, I believe, by Rotators, and it looks like some distance shooting coming from Stiegel as he hits a couple members of Swab as they try and go for those eastern radar parts.
Knight hanging out in the gauntlet, trying to get his way up there. He's waiting for his teammate to join him to get a little boost. Jalapeno going up over the wall. If he can make it, no. Boost unsuccessful. But while the boost was happening, the objective was grabbed briefly. Now it's in the hands of Rev. He's trying to make his way over the hill, getting smashed by some fire. West radar parts also taken away by Jalapeno. So these guys are going to go for a double radar parts run. We've got Rev all by himself in the back hallways. It looks like everyone's worrying about the west radar parts. The west radar parts have been secured, and Rev is continuing his run through the forward spawn point, making his way to the truck, and what's waiting for him outside? Oh, ouch.
Congratulations on your promotion.
That has a sting. Very nice support fire coming from Big Nuts as he throws that out at the perfect time, hitting the parts carrier, grabbing the western parts for Rotators, and holding off Swab at a very, very critical time. We've got about 5 seconds left on this map. It doesn't look like it's going to happen for Swab this time. It looks like they've lost their first round this season.
They did manage to grab the east radar parts, but one set is just not enough. They had some great action going on there, but in the end, Rotators able to hold them off for 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Now it's all going to switch. It's going to be all about what kind of time can Swab set in the second set to prevent Rotators from getting a 2-0 win. Very important round. This is the finals for the TWL Season 1. And while we have a brief moment, going to take it out to a quick station identification. We'll be right back.
Okay, so we all piled into the company kitchen and cooked up there.
Actually, I take it back. I should have played it maybe, but it was a long one. I accidentally hit the long one, and I'm just going to get yelled at by Trav and let it happen. I know he's going to kick my ass for that, but maybe I won't let him hear this one. Shh, don't tell him. As the match is going to begin in 8 seconds, and we'll get to see what Suave can do unencumbered by an already set time. Can they make it faster? Have they learned anything from the first round? We're going to find out as we have this match. It has begun. 10 minutes on the clock. I'm heading over to the side entrance, and we're going to look for that first push. Most teams are heading that way nowadays. Look at this nice defense coming out from Rotators. They've got 4 immediately heading for the side entrance, putting heavy pressure and forcing Swab to take another approach to getting in there. Blue throws out some nice artillery support that kills his own team. Okay, maybe that wasn't so nice. He destroys Dator and no effects. All seems relatively calm. A lot of explosions happening, but are we seeing any dynamite planted at either entrance?
Not yet, but Swab with a pretty good push going side right now, as it looks like they're getting things set up. They've got the forward bunker. We're going to have Dino thrown on the main entrance soon, and it looks like Swab making a very good push there. They look very upset about the last round, and they want to win this one. They've got some dynamite down on the side entrance. There it goes. Dino planted, and here comes some members of Rotators coming to defend the command post. Clue got to be a little upset with himself after that double arty strike on his own team, and we'll see what happens. It looks like he's got himself and a medic for backup. It looks like it's going to be Dator again. They did a very good job defending that command post for a while in the last round. We'll see if they're able to do it again. It looks like that Dino is almost about to blow.
We should have entrances opening as the Allies have reached the side entrance. The main entrance will be not far behind. We have defense set up at the west radar parts. A lot of action happening over at the command post. But I can tell you that Stiegel is hanging out here, a medic for Rotators. He's joined by Bloody Mist as they begin their defense of the West radar parts. Here comes Swab. They're heading inside. Jalapeno doing some long-distance fire, hiding in that main entrance, peeking around corners, throwing out some damage, and ducking back behind as he's just kind of waiting. He's got to wait for his team to come through. They're too busy right now. They've got to worry about that side entrance and getting that man post. Here's all the fire going on. Engineers trying to make their way through the plant dynamite. Still a lot of carnage happening right here at the command post. We are going to have, it looks like, Seed trying to sneak through. He dodges a Panzerfaust which hits behind him and takes out Deseret and Red Zone. So even though he managed to survive Seed coming out that doorway, his teammates were not quite so lucky. No engineer. Actually, there is an engineer. It's Apocalypse. He's just hanging out, waiting for the prime moment to plant dynamite on that command post and claim it for his team, as we have 7 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock.
I think it's important to note that Swab is not making any kind of push until they're sure their team is ready to go. They're moving as a team, and they know what they're doing. Right now, it's just straight up and down, coming to strategy and guns, which is the way this game should be played. Not a whole lot of mistakes being made by either teams. Swab going for a boost right now on the Eastern Radar parts. Deseret's going to come up, grab the parts, and we'll see if we see any long-distance fire coming from Rotators. We've got some very good distractions coming from Swab. Long-distance Sten fire coming from Red Zone. That's probably not very accurate. But we've got the airstrike being thrown out on the west parts right now, and it looks like that's going to push Rotators back a little bit and hopefully allow Swab to move up and get to that boost. Looks like they've been pushing those boosts all night. Some members of Rotators coming up high. Looks like Big Nuts. And it's going to try and gun down the people at the boost, not allowing them to get the Western Radar parts. We do have an Eastern Radar parts return to the truck right now for Swab, and we've got just over 6 minutes left on this map for them. They're going to need to start moving here if they want to do better than the last time the Rotators have.
Well, you know, they're trying to step it up here. They're coming at that boost point, sending 3, 4, and 5 to make their way over. They keep getting mowed down. Too much crossfire. The Thompsons are just destroying them. They are revived by their medic, trying desperately to stay alive. Knight is the only one left. The field ops all by himself with no one to save him. That's going to hurt a lot. Here comes Jalapeno. He's going to revive one of his teammates as he gets destroyed. And you know what? One is not enough, as we've seen right there in that attack where they only what's up?
It might be in this case, though, Trill, where Apocalypse has the mobile MG42 set up guarding that bridge for Suave. It looks like he's throwing out a little fire. I'm sorry, that was no effects there, hitting Seed. Apocalypse is throwing out some cover fire with that MG42, though, and we'll be able to cover that bridge for his team. Suave right now going for the boost again. We've got a lot of action down at that boost. Oh, there goes a 4-man Panzer. Or I'm sorry, 3-man Panzer coming from Madness, and landmine going off as well. Haven't seen a whole lot of landmines in these battles. These teams just basically sticking with their guns, and it's been working for the most part. They've gotten pretty fast times so far, and they're both looking pretty good. We've got about 4 minutes and 33 seconds left on this map, and Swab has got to get it together if they want to really get a solid time for Rotators to have to beat.
Well, what Swab's doing this time around, they're trying to change up their attacks. They're coming around the backside of the Axis spawn. 4 of them making their way, 5 of them actually, trying to come through this way. They're going to get owned by a grenade from Bloody Mist, tossing long range. Also, a landmine cutting them down. They continue to push on that tower. Here comes, who is that that's coming around the corner? It would be Deserax, trying to make it up to the West Radar parts, and he is going to be denied. They continue to push as hard as they possibly can. But I have got to tell you, what we are seeing from Rotators right now is a fantastic defense of these radar parts as the objective is briefly touched and then immediately caught between the crossfire and secured by the Axis team. Here comes, look at this rush coming over the bridge right now. And with 3 minutes and 35 seconds, you know Swab's got to be getting desperate.
Oh, some nice support fire being thrown out by Big Nuts. Hits one of the members of Swab, and it looks like the Western Radar parts are grabbed and quickly mowed down by Rotators. Swab is just having a tough time getting those Western parts. Looks like Rotators is basically giving up on covering any part of the East and just sticking with the West. They had their early defense inside the command post area and just move it straight over to the West. And right now it looks like Big Nuts and a couple other members of Rotators are barely left behind. NoFX gunning far distance here with his MG42 inside that trench near the western radar parts, as it looks like Rev and Red Zone trying to make their way across the bridge, but some very nice long distance fire coming from Rotators. Gonna stop them from doing that, as some solid defense comes from Rotators.
This is fantastic defense. I don't know what to say at this point. I expected Swab to at least be able to get in and get a decent time. They had a great start, and in fact, last round they almost captured both parts in 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Now we're seeing it with only 2:20 left to go, and it's Swab trying desperately to make their way across the bridge. Seems like whatever attack they take, they are immediately spotted, and the crossfire switches into their direction. Whether they come around back, try to do a low attack, try to boost, try to come over the bridge, the objective is on the move, and it is going to be dropped still up on the lead. It is sitting unattended, waiting for someone to come up and take it. A lot of action happening down in the lower part under the bridge. The objective still stands ready for capture, but I do not see anyone from Swab who is able to get up there and grab it. Very soon I expect we will see that objective returned, but maybe not. It's almost like they don't realize it's gone, or they've just decided not to worry about it, or perhaps it's just that everybody is dead. Here comes Clue. He is finally going to return the objective with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. That push is probably the strongest one we've seen from Swab in this round, but that's just not strong enough.
Right now, I think it's important to mention, as soon as those parts are touched, there's about a half-second time difference before they're touched and the person goes down. Illustrated right there by one of the members of Swab. Parts are touched and quickly gunned down. Red Zone coming in right now, trying to go for the parts. Gets hit, though, by Steagle. Steagle will knock him down, and it looks like Swab is pushed back yet again. They are having a very tough time with their offense here. They're still trying to push across the bridge. Looks like they are just not able to get things going that way. I think it's important for them to realize this and just try something else. It's important to have a backup strategy, especially versus a good team. And I don't know. They're having a tough time right now.
They've pretty much got maybe 1-2 more attempts left in the time here. We do have Jalapeno going for the move. He's got the objective in his hands, and he's going flying. As soon as he hits the road, though, he is down and out for the count. His teammates trying to come in and rescue him, but they're just a second too late. The objective has been grabbed once again by Deseret, and this may be the final attempt of the game. He is being chased down by an active soldier with only a full skull. And there is the Luger for Platinum. That Luger wins this, her does a full hold, I should say, on behalf of Rotators. We talked about pistol whippage before the match, and Madness is the one to come through. An entire 10 minutes on the clock. Last time set by Rotators was 4 minutes and 29 seconds. If they play like they have been so far tonight, this is going to be an easy task for them.
Dator grabbing most of the honors for his team in Rotators. C grabbing one. I didn't catch which one it was. I think it might have been Best Medic, but I am not sure. Anyway, it's looking like Swab has got to pull off a full hold here versus Rotators if they want to make this go to another round. It's going to be a tough thing to do on radar. We'll see how they do it. I honestly don't know what they should do at this point. There's not a whole lot of strategies that could work versus the Rotator strategy. Rotators just seem to be outgunning them. They're both going split offense and defense at the proper times, and they're just getting gunned down. The crossfire set up by Rotators is just very impressive, and it's a tough thing to counter at this point. And Swab's going to have a very tough time beating it.
Well, and the hardest
We're about to get underway right
now. As this match begins, is to also remember that basically you've got Swab. They were very confident before this all began. Now they are finding their confidence shaken as they have one attempt here to tie this match up and force it into a next round, or at least actually withhold the point and force it into a next round. We're 9 minutes and 37 seconds left to go. Side entrance is still waiting for someone to come plant dynamite on it. taking a look to see what kind of action we have out here. We do have some MP40 fire taking place. We have Apocalypse and Seed moving forward towards the back roadways to see who they can find. And I don't know, it's pretty calm out here as it looks like we actually have a push coming on outside at the main entrance. Here comes Stiegel to revive his teammate. Dynamite has been thrown down by Clue. Pliers coming out. Oh, and a grenade lands right on top of him as he's about to plant the dynamite. That is denied for Rotators. They're going to have to make another attempt right now. That was beautiful.
Very nice job there with the rifle grenade. Another Panzerfaust coming out by Rev, hitting no effects, and the engineer is still able to get a dyno down. A nice grenade there by Rev. Rev is with a very nice play there. Hit two members of Rotators, but not stopping them from getting the dynamite down on the main entrance. We've got several members of Rotators coming through the doors. It looks like we had ourselves a covert ops. Manda sticking behind there, opening the door for his teammates, still kind of hiding, getting ready for his team to come through, and it looks like they're easily killed off, though, by the members of Suave, and not able to get those Western Radar parts, but that was not a bad push at all, allowing Suave to get off their guard, and Rotators almost got the Eastern Radar parts and all that confusion. Seed gonna save the day, though, hitting the member of Rotators who grabbed that from behind, and both radar parts still under control of Suave. So, I don't know. That was kind of nullified by Suave. Very nicely done. We got 7 minutes and 50 seconds left on this map, and pretty quick early push coming from Rotators. We'll have to see how well the back defense is coming for Suave if they want to stay in this finals.
The side entrance.
Well, finally the side entrance has been breached. It took about 2.5 minutes to do so, but realize the command post has never been built. Finally going to be built by Clue right here. Dynamite! I'm talking about a grenade coming through and stopping that attempt to build the command post. A lot of fire happening here as Red Zone is going to play that defensive role and make sure that that command post does not get built. Currently, both radar parts are spinning around secure just fine and dandy. We do have Desirax up here with his teammate Jalapeno providing some defensive coverage as they wait to see which approach Rotators are going to take first. Here comes Clue, joined by his teammate NoFX. I heard a rifle grenade coming in there. Let's see what they're going to do with that as they're making their way. Their first push coming through, heading straight for those West radar parts. East radar parts still untouched, but not for long, as we have Bloody Mist make an attempt, and then he is going to get mowed down.
I think it's important to note here that something we've seen from both teams is some very nice split offenses run, going for both radar parts at once, trying to draw the other team one way and then get the radar parts while they're in that direction. And it's working very well to break up the respective defenses on the different parts. Swab doing some nice defense right now, though, still have not allowed Rotators to grab those eastern parts. And I'm eating my words right now, as it looks like Dator going to be doing some parts running. Some distance fire coming. Nice prone there by Dator. He's going to avoid the fire, as it looks like he's going to come up the stairs right now near the CP and run through and try and get those parts back to the truck. Right now, Rotators making a pretty good push here over by the bridge. Going to try and get set up. Rev coming out with the Panzerfaust. Does not get his Panzerfaust shot off. Instead, he dies all alone. And his body is left in a heap in front of the fake radar, as it were. Looks like we've got some distance shooting coming from Madness. He's covert ops here for Rotators. Trying to hit some members of Suave who set up still at the eastern radar parts. And it looks like just a whole lot of distance shooting going on right now, though it looks like NoFX making a run here on those Western radar parts. He gets nailed by support fire from Nightmare, and he's going to get held back for a little while, as it looks like another member of Rotators. It's going to be Dator. Nice distance fire coming from some members of Suave, as it looks like Rotators are not able to get those Western radar parts. They are falling quickly. Wow. Very nice plays here coming from both teams so far. This is a very exciting second round coming up from Suave. They're doing some good defense here. We could possibly see another round coming up after this.
But not if Madness has his way, as he's making his way. He's trying to go for the West radar parts. He's jumping over. He's going to pick him up. And as soon as he does, MG42 coming from Jalapeno from across the map, cutting that down. Now, the East radar parts have been captured. They're sitting in the back of this truck, so all eyes are focused on the West radar parts as they are picked up by Bloody Mist. He's getting hit. You can see it goes prone, and then where did he go? He's still there, actually. He's still prone, hanging out there behind a tree.
Oh!
He's going to come out of this one. Amazing strategy here as he revives his teammate. And here it goes. He's making his way out towards the main entrance, and this is going to be it,
Good
folks.
game.
Bloody Mist with some fantastic prone work has made it through, and in 5 minutes and 54 seconds, they capture both radar parts and win the TWL Season 2 Playoffs Tournament Finals. Excellent games played. Whack, I don't know. I've never seen anyone be able to pull off such sneaky moves. It was like he was breakdancing out there with those radar parts.
That was really nice. Bloody Mist probably pulled off the moves of the century. And he was proning and walking and proning and walking and totally made it to the truck like ridiculous. He was pulling that out of his ass. He had like 5 members of Swab to deal with all over the place. Proned himself to the truck and like managed to, I don't know how he did it, but he managed to get all the way to the truck. That was hilarious. Nice win there by Rotators, and we're hoping to see Rotators come on Ventrilo here shortly and give us a post-game interview. That was good games. So Suave will fall to Rotators here in the TWL League Finals. I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised that it happened so fast.